The purple a problem, that's a known fact, yeah. How we go hard on them, they like get up off us, like we better be cautious. No grace come with a limit, can't stop what's coming with it. Persistent, resilient, the purple a problem.
We go. All praise the Most High. Shalom, shalom again. All right, so what we're gonna go over is just a couple things for encouraging sake and teaching sake, because it's definitely needed in our, especially in our congregation. All right, so the name of the class is going to be Been There, Done That. All right, so y'all already know where it's going. We've been there. We done that. All right, so that means follow the lead. All right. All right, so let's get straight into it. Give me Romans 15:4. You'll get straight into it.
Check. The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
All right, so as the scriptures say, the things that were written aforetime was written for us to learn from. Now, I want y'all to really think about the atrocities and evils that happened to us as a people before we was even born, all the way up until now. Also, I want y'all to think about the effects of sin, because who watched Captain's Class? Sin is the Butterfly Effect. How was it? It was fire. All right, so all praises. So with Cap bringing out the different effects of sin, it doesn't just affect you; it affects everybody around you. Now, I'm gonna go into the sin going through time. So sin affects your present and your future, but repentance can fix the past, straighten up your present, and then you can look for a better future. So sin is very temporary. It's only present and future, but you got to stay in that sin. So it shows you how heavy repentance really is. All right. So let's get straight to it. We're gonna go into like the physical youth. Where are my young brothers and sisters at? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, got my young prophets over here. I got one young sister over here. So all y'all sisters, y'all not young no more. Yeah, they just said they old. They just said they old. I got two young sisters back here. They unks. They aunt. And aunties. That's my TT right there. All right, so let's get that real quick. So being young, it really equates to, like, when you look at youth. Matter of fact, I want you, I want y'all to define youth for me. When you look at youth always goes into inexperience. When you are youthful at certain things, you're not as polished or experienced with things. So when we talk about the youth in general, there's certain things that y'all have to polish yourselves on. And I know a lot of y'all think y'all know everything because you go to school. You may have an education, watching YouTube, learning stuff that your parents don't know. But trust me, you do not have the same level of experience that your parents have. Read that real quick, if you can see it, reader. Can y'all please zoom in? Control plus. There we go. Control plus some more. That's small. All right.
The definition of youth: the period between childhood and adult age.
Okay. Hit the little arrow, IT. There we go. Scroll down. Scroll down. It's definition 2. Right. Hit the arrow again. See more. No. Right there. It's right before the 2. It says an early stage.
I got you. It's an early stage in the development of something.
So you see that the early stages of development of something, that's really what youth is. So that means you're still developing either your craft, your skill, or either your mannerisms in this point of time in your youth. Because according to the scriptures, it says that we are an adult when we're at the age of 20. So between your youthful years, you should be learning skills to be beneficial when you become an adult. meaning y'all men need to learn how to work with your hands and use your mind. Because a lot of y'all in this generation are very, very weak. Very weak. Y'all pick up a wrench, split their nail, ooh, Mom, I got some dirt in my nail. Yes, that's y'all generation. We gotta strengthen y'all. All right. So give me Titus 3:3 real quick. Because I want to go into these different things like youthful sin, rebellion, deception, things of that nature. All right. Read that.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
So we up here was once young and dumb. We was I was 18 at one point in my time. I was 18. Y'all may not believe it, but I was 18. I wasn't always 30. Trust me, I wasn't. But we understand what 18-year-olds think about because we were 18. We was 15. We was 13. All right, read it again.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures.
So we going to break that down because this is somebody being young and dumb. Read that again.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient.
So as a young kid, as a young brother, I was disobedient too. I didn't always follow directions. It was so many beatdowns that happened in the house. I probably had the world record of all the walls broken in the house because of horseplay. I was one of them ones. I was very rambunctious, but I had very stern parents. Read.
Deceived.
We were all lied to. We all believed once upon a time that Christ's birthday was Christmas Eve. We believed that Christianity was the way. We also believed in all the philosophies that was taught us in school. We was deceived, lied to. Read.
Serving diverse lusts and pleasures.
So we served diverse lusts and pleasure because what was our buffer? This truth wasn't around when I was a kid. What was our buffer? Grandma praying for you? Mama and dad being hard on you? That was the only buffer that we had. It was the physical threats, the actual punishments. That was our only buffer. But when it came to spiritual things, we didn't know nothing about that. Some of us was in manners of pornography. Some of us was in the midst of adultery. Some of us was in the midst of scamming, stealing, whoremongering. We gonna get into it because this is what the youth idolize, especially in today's world. Keep reading.
Living in malice and envy.
You see that? Living in malice and envy. Anybody in here, y'all know what malice and envy is? Yes, sir. Young prophet David. Or Kish, I'm sorry. Kish. The son of Benjamin. Go ahead. Good. So when you hold hatred for somebody else, you really do you think that us as youth, we was taught the love of God? We wasn't. We wasn't taught how to love self. We wasn't taught how to identify our people. We weren't taught none of that. We was taught all the deception and lies that everybody else was taught. So y'all actually have an advantage over us. For instance, I know y'all young brothers be into certain things like, Dragon Ball Z and all that other stuff. Is the child supposed to be stronger than the parent or the parent stronger than the child when it goes to that? In what regard? I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z. Who's stronger? The child or the parent? Who watches it? Because I know all the hands raised up. Solomon, go ahead. Stand up. So he has the potential to surpass his father. Even though his father is strong, the point, like you said, is for the parent with their strength to instill that in the child to be stronger than them in their lifetime, correct? So that means that the child is supposed to be stronger than the parent. Okay, all right, I like that. That's where we gonna go. Watch. So when we were young, we acted accordingly. We acted our shoe size. We was 17 acting 12. We was 25 acting 16. We was acting foolish. But that comes with being in our youth. Like I say, in your youth, you're inexperienced. You don't have any life lessons at that point, and you think you know it all. All right, let's go. So the first stanza, go to Titus 3:3. Let's read that one more time.
Titus chapter 3 and verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient.
Stop right there. Disobedient. What other word shows an example of disobedience? Hardhead. I like that. What else? Hardhead. Ignorant. Nah, not ignorant. Go ahead, soldier. There it is right there. Rebellious. So as children in your youth, it's natural to be rebellious, to have that spirit of rebellion on you. Mom or dad say do this, but I don't wanna. We gonna see what happened to them type of spirits. It ain't like when I was growing up. There was no such thing as an opinion officer. You didn't talk in grown folks' business. If two men or two older women were speaking, you had nothing to say. And if you did say something, it was some lightning touching your mouth.
Look at all the old folks agreeing.
Yeah, they're like,
Yep. Most of us can remember those experiences growing up. Like I don't know about the youth today, but when the older brothers and sisters that experience that, we can vividly remember the times when we stepped out of line and got corrected
and got right back in line.
Got right back in line. Like I'm never doing that again. I'm not doing that no more. Right? Go ahead, Austin.
So, and the thing is, I may be somewhat young, but I had some old school parents. I had to be in before the street lights came on. We couldn't go outside the neighborhood if our parents weren't at home. It was certain, and I always had to be with my brothers, always. And if anybody got to tussling, we just had to tussle all together. So that's the thing. Like what we're living now in this generation, especially y'all online all the time, is fake. It ain't real. And y'all do not get the same root of punishment that we got physically. But let's keep going. So now the first stage is rebellion. Now, IT, I need y'all to define rebellion for me. Define rebellion. Because this is very paramount to the youth. Being inexperienced, you want to go against stuff.
While they looked that up, I was thinking about punishments back in the day. You know, your mother or your father telling you to stay in the house. Just staying in the house, you couldn't go outside, that was the worst punishment you can get.
That was bad.
And you hearing all your friends outside playing, and you got to stay in the house. Now, you can't tell a kid to
go
stay
outside
because they always in the house anyway. So you can't tell them to stay in the house now.
Hey, we're in a wacky world, the world of make believe. All right, read that for me.
Rebellion, an act of violent or open.
No. The next one. It should say the action or process of resisting.
All right. Rebellion, the action or process of resisting authority, control, or convention.
So in your youth, this is what you do. You resist authority, which is your parents. You resist control and convention, meaning direction or instruction. You resist these things. But the question is why? Why do the youth resist these things? Now you have to think about it like this. Rebellion is the spirit in a youthful soul, or rebellion in the spirit of a youthful soul receives information that is different or contrary from what they were taught at home. That's when you rebel. When there's information that was presented to you that mom and dad didn't teach me, but I think I got a one up on mom and dad. So now I'm about to oppose authority because they didn't teach me this. So rebellion comes from information. Sometimes too much information. Let's get an example. Give me Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to read all the way down to 7. We're going to get a historical example of this happening.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Stop. So, I got a question. What does that prove right there? What was Eve doing? When the serpent said something, the serpent came to her and said, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, right? What was Eve doing in verse 3? I want to see who's thinking. Read that. Yes, sir. Go ahead. No. Ram. She what? How though? There it is right there. This shows you that she got instructions in her household called the Garden of Eden. In Adam's domain, he commanded his wife and taught her what God taught him. And we understand that these wasn't just trees. These were people and doctrines. So he was like, hey, don't go to that person over there. They sneaky. Don't mess with them. Don't learn nothing from them. What is she doing? She's defending what she learned. From who? Her husband, her Lord, Adam, right? But let's see what happens. Read.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So wait a minute. Now the serpent or this man is playing on her lust of curiosity. Because now he just gave her some information that she didn't know. And what happened when she learned this information? Let's keep reading.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat.
So she learned of this tree or this knowledge. She learned of it and she digested the knowledge, meaning she understood it. Read.
And gave also unto her husband.
Then she started to teach her husband, which was contrary to what he was commanded. Read.
And he did eat.
So he received that same information. Read on.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So now they understood that, oh, we messed up. This is what it feels like to be rebellious. This is what it feels like to be aware of doing something wrong. Now that's when the sorrow comes. So for y'all, for the young brothers and sisters in here, a lot of y'all are a lot of y'all get all this information from social media, and you think you can come against your parents because you think you know something. You'll go to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you'll get all this wealth of information, and then when your mom or dad tell you to do X, Y, and Z, you're like, well, we don't have to do it like this. We could do it like X, Y, and Z, and we can go this way. No, they told you to do it this way for their reason. Now you're challenging that because you learned another way. So when you're induced with that information that's contrary to what you learned, y'all rebel. We all once rebelled too, thinking that we knew more than our mom and more than our dad. So I'm talking from experience. So y'all brothers and sisters, hey, y'all need to do what? Limit your time on social media. because that social media is actually destroying you socially and destroying your household. You have something else?
Yeah. Can you read Jeremiah 6:16? Because the example that you gave about, I think that the children fail to realize at time that when your parents say don't do A, B, and C, they're not saying that because they want to restrict you from having some type of joy or fun. It's that, I think when we was talking about the title of this class, when Officer Kidon was talking about the title of this class, you'll hear older people say sometime, I've been your age, but you never been my age, which means that they've been through the things that you're going through now. So they're trying to point you in a direction that you won't fall, because they say if you go down this path, A, B, and C is going to happen. Now, they may not tell you that, you know what I'm saying, but they're trying to prevent you from making the same mistakes that they have once made or seen people make. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and as for the old paths.
And a lot of times people hate a path, an old path. I don't know why nowadays, kids or even some adults will try to create a path when it's already been one paved. If the world, and Cap said it last week, if the world was so magnificent, then we would still be there. But it's a reason why we're here and we're trying to point you down this road. The path has already been paved. So all you have to do is follow the old path. But why should we be following the old path? Keep going.
Where is the good way? And walk therein.
So because the old path is a good way. Just because you're presented with new information does not mean that that's the best information you can go with. You got to trust in the old way. And because you don't understand the Bible, the old way will be the path that your parents are pointing you in, not your own way. Can you read? We'll finish that out.
And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
And that's what happens when you choose not to walk down the path that your parents have set for you or that leadership has set for you. You find yourself troubled at the end. Go ahead, officer.
Hey, good point, officer. Real good point. Because that's going to tie into this. So I want y'all to really think, especially the parents in here. What one thing you can really think about that really just, it was a lesson learned after a youthful mistake that you made, that you really, it changed your life. Like Officer said, hey, when we got popped in the mouth a couple times, it was like, hey, I don't like pain, bro. Pain don't feel good. So that's something to think about on a physical level. So, and going back to what Officer said, we see us in here that's older, especially to y'all brothers and sisters that's from the age of 20 and down, heck, from the age of 25 and down. We actually see ourselves in you. So we don't want you to make the same mistakes that we made in our lifetime. We want you to get the cheat code or the shortcut in life. But it takes a listening ear and discipline. And that's something that has to be earned, really. And you have to craft that skill. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep Adam and Eve right there. That was an example of learning information that was different from what you was taught in your house, and you start to go against your parents. 1 Corinthians 10. So remember, youthfulness or youth equals inexperience. And we all was youthful at one time. We was all inexperienced. We was all foolish at one time. Read that.
What verse you want?
10:13.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is coming to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
So right there, we are trying to be that way out for the youth. We're trying to be that way out for y'all young brothers and sisters not to experience the pains of life. Because we understand, give me Sirach 40 verse 1. When we read this, you're going to see what I'm talking about. When you come into this life, it ain't nothing but turmoil and pain. Sometimes as a good parent, you want your children to have workout pain where they learn something along the way, but you don't want them to go through unnecessary pain that could destroy them. Read that.
Sirach chapter 40 and verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, And a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam
Uh-huh.
from the day that they go out of their mother's womb till the day they return to the mother of all things.
So we understand that great travail, hardship, it is meant in this lifetime, but it's meant to build you up. A lot of us would go off in the midst of sin and destroy ourselves. And that's what we as parents, we're honestly a guide in this life. Because if you follow someone that already been through the test, wouldn't you pass it too? I mean, is that right or wrong? They already went through certain hurdles and trials, and they saying, hey, do X, Y, and Z when this person comes. When this type of person comes, you do this, that, and the third. Now y'all got a leg up. But if you like, no, mom, I want to do my own thing. No, dad, I have my own mind. Sounding like an Edomite. A full-fledged chocolate-covered Edomite. Because that spirit of rebellion is Edom. That's that Edom mindset in you. Jump down to, go to 1 Samuel 15:23 now. We still hitting on rebellion because this is in the mind of our children. Read that.
1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 23.
Uh-huh.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he have also rejected thee from being king.
So it says rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, meaning it has a hold on you. You got a spell on you. You're enraptured in that decision, or what they say, hell bent. Yes, like just like Genesis 4. You're so hell bent on your own mind and your own decision, not understanding your situation that you're in, not understanding the dynamics of what you're going through. And your parents can see that, but you can't because it's your first time. It's their 5th, 6th, 7th time seeing it. So that's how they're able to identify these things. But when you're hell-bent like that, it's almost like you're in the midst of witchcraft. Jump down, go to Proverbs 14:11 now. And this is going to tell you what type of man or woman you are if this spirit is too prevalent on you. Especially y'all young brothers and sisters. Because y'all, hey, I be hearing some stories, officer. I hear some stories. And it's some rebellious border of blue with fringes. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish.
Wait, Proverbs 14:11?
Yes, sir. Proverbs 14:11. Yes, sir.
Oh, I probably did it.
Verse 12.
Read that. It says rebellion is of a wicked man. I probably is it 11:14? Yeah, I was in the zone. Yeah, bruh. Hold on. It says that rebellion is of a wicked man. Oh, 17:11. I'm sorry, 17:11. Not 14:11, 17:11.
Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
An evil man seeketh only rebellion.
Wait. Repeat that again.
An evil man seeketh only rebellion.
So if all you seek is to rebel, you're an evil man. You're an evil woman. That's all you live for is contention, strife, causing headaches. And then some of y'all kids, y'all know when you do right from wrong. Y'all know when you are a grief to your parents. You know. You don't just say, I'm a upstanding child.
Yeah, they know
my dad.
And they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. This is you. You are a wicked, evil person. Read that.
An evil man seeketh only rebellion.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him.
So that cruel message is when just desserts come, you get either punched in the mouth. You get punished by the police. Now on the news they saying, oh, he was a good kid. For real? Really? He's an angel. Nah. He was a full-fledged demon out of hell. And he knew that. She knew that. So y'all kids, y'all gotta stop causing these stresses on your parents. Because all they want is the best for you. Trust me. If they didn't want the best for you, you would be in the street right now. I'm just be real. They would, once you turn 18, you get kicked out. They kick you out of the house. They don't even care how you feel for yourself. And then you trying to latch on to friends that you made in school, and then they're not friends. They're very shady. Some of y'all haven't really experienced the heartache of life, and that's what your parents are trying not to have you experience. But some of y'all are just wicked and hardhead. Y'all so hell-bent on doing evil, and it makes no sense. Like, oh, I need my own space. Own space? I'm gonna give y'all a secret. All y'all young brothers and sisters, y'all are a bill. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it for y'all parents. You're expensive. Have y'all ever thought about that? When I had this talk with my mom and dad, I was like, man, I ain't know that, Mom. I ain't know that, Dad. They had to pay for the football practices, the track meets, the wrestling, all that stuff. They had to pay for that. And we was barely getting by. But I did it. Food, clothes, food, bro. I know some of these parents got like $500-$600 food bills in every 2 weeks. I know it is. Because all y'all do is eat. Yeah. I'm giving y'all a secret right now. Y'all are expensive. What are you going to do to owe your parents back? Mom, I didn't ask to be here. You didn't. You did not ask to be here. Now you're here, Johnny. What you going to do?
Hey, you got Sirach 3 in your notes.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. If it's in there, I'm just.
No, I don't.
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Please read that. Sirach 3, start at 1. Please start at 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
Because the question is asked is, what officer just asked is, well, what are you going to do to repay the things that your parents have done for you? Even though that's really kind of like a rhetorical question, because there's really nothing you can do to repay your parents. In a like manner, the same way that you can't really repay God for the things that he's done for us. But things that you can do to show effort that you want to repay or show gratitude for what your parents do for you is what getting ready to be outlined right now. Keep reading.
For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
I did skip over some. So at the end of verse 1, it says, do thereafter the things that's getting ready to be listed, that ye may be safe. This is directed towards who? Children, right? Verse 2, it says, what he just read, the Lord, God has given the father honor over the children. For the young prophets, what does that mean? How would you define honor? Just want the young folks today.
Everybody young, officer. Everybody's young in the eyesight of the Lord.
Anybody. No, it says the Lord have given the father, the parent, honor over the children. Okay, I'm going to read some definitions. It says recognition of importance or spiritual value, favorable reputation or dignity, or privilege is some definitions of honor. So these are things that parents, or in this case, it says specifically the father has over the children. Keep reading in verse 2.
Verse 2, for the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
All right, somebody else define authority. Authority, yep. Right. Power. Definition, read another one. The power to enforce laws, exact obedience, to command, to determine, or judge. Now, who's giving up the parents this authority or honor? Huh? No. In the first 3 words of this verse, the Lord God gave the parents this level of authority and power over the children. So my question is this: if God has given them this authority, can you turn around and be like, I really don't like my parents. I want to Matthew 18 them. Like, you are
I
offending
feel
me.
some type of
You
way.
telling me clean my room and obey you. Like, I feel some type of way about that. I think we need a Matthew 18. Are we allowed to do that? Because this is what I want y'all to, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to see if y'all pick up what I'm saying. I want y'all to understand, if you say that you can do that, you are saying also that you can do the same thing against God. That's literally what you're saying. And why am I drawing that correlation? I'm not going to read it for sake of time, but Exodus 21 says that a man that curseth his father or mother, what's the result of that? Death. Okay. Go to Leviticus. It says a man that curseth the name, blaspheme or curse the name of the Lord. What's the judgment for that? It's death. Because your first introduction to submission or fear, your first introduction to that in life is via who? It's through who? Your parents. Your parents are your first sight of God in your life. Why? God is the one who gives you life. Who brought you into this world physically? Your parents. God is the one who nourishes you. Who nourishes you? Your parents. God protects you. Who protects you? Your parents. So you sitting here thinking, oh, well, I feel some type of way. I want to Matthew 18 my parents. Well, you might as well Matthew 18 God too. You might as well Matthew 18 God too. Like, it's
That's
very
gonna be a
silly.
hard hill to fight.
It's very silly, but you feel that way because, again, you haven't been there and done that yet. You're immature, you're inexperienced, you're still a child. So you're going to think as a child, as Paul says. But that's why you got your parents who are trying to guide you away from thinking and having these foolish thoughts, destructive thoughts. That's it.
Oh, praises. That's what I'm talking about. That's the professor right there. Oh, praises. All right, so going and what officer was going into, very heavy. Because a lot of you have been taught a lie. You've been deceived through social media. A lot of y'all, the most rebellious kids, I'm going to just give y'all a secret, parents. The most rebellious kids tend themselves to their devices. They're either on their phone, on social media like TikTok, YouTube. They listen to a lot of music that is debased and against teachings of life. They're on video games too much, where they're learning different concepts that's not taught in the house. These things have to be controlled. As parents, we have to show that level of authority that the Lord gave us. Because going back to what Officer said, the first authoritative figure is your parents. So if you can't even follow dad and mom's advice, what about Cop Rogers and Cop Carl? What about them? Now they got to put the baton on you. You had something else?
Yeah, let me get Sirach 30. Start at 6. We're gonna jump down to start at 6 and then 8 through 11.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against.
How can you be if you disobedient to your parents? How can you be an avenger for the Lord? How?
You are ally to the enemies.
You're ally to the enemy. You can't be an avenger. Read on.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
That's when your youth. That's what you're being raised up to be, an avenger, not to be a rebellious child. Read on.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
Now jump to 8 through 11.
Verse 8. And horse not broken become of head strong.
So when those kids are young, it said a horse. What is comparing a child to a horse that's not been broken, right? Read.
And a child left to himself will be willful.
So a child left to himself, when we didn't do nothing, we didn't help them while they was young. We left them to their own devices. He said he gonna be willful. He gonna do whatever the world, whatever he got in front of him, whatever the internet says do, whatever the world doing, whatever his friends doing in the world, that's what he gonna do. Read.
Conquer thou child, and he shall make thee afraid.
Play
with him.
Do what?
Play with him.
Some of y'all parents play with y'all kids. Too much. I'm gonna be nice. They told me to be nice. You know, I had some other words, but I'm gonna be nice. Right? Sometimes parents can get up and then you're not your child's friend, right? You ain't
Say it
you ain't
again,
your-
officer.
You're not your child's friend, right? Yeah, when we was old, when we was younger, we can't say this now, but you ever heard the term, I brought you in this world, boy, I take you out.
Yeah.
That's how our parents dealt with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna read on?
Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness.
So if you play with your kids, guess what? It's all cute and fun, but they gonna bring heaviness upon you when they get older. They gonna bring stress upon you when they get older. Read.
Laugh not with him.
They say do what?
Laugh not with him.
This not a game. We ain't he and ha ha. And when you being disobedient, and then, hey, what we got to he and ha? It's time to put belt to you know what, right? Read.
Lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty.
Give him what?
Give him no liberty.
Why these damn kids talk about they ain't got no liberty? What? The Bible said don't give them no liberty. My parents don't let me do nothing. I can't go outside. I can't play video games for 8 hours. The Bible said you don't need no liberty. Read.
Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies.
Don't be winking at his follies. Put the belt to the you know what, to the behind.
That's it.
Right? Read on. Give me one more verse.
Bow down his neck while he is young.
When he's young, that's when it's time to lay that discipline down. And most of the single sisters, that's why we are here. That's why the men are up here, because we are the spiritual fathers. When you got a single sister with boys or sisters that started to get rebellious, because we all know we've been in that teenage age where 16, 17, 18, we start feeling ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna raise up. I'm the man of the house.
What do you say? You smelling yourself.
I'm smelling myself. You know what I'm saying? I might buy me some cheap cologne. I'm starting to smell myself. I am the man of the house and don't pay no bills. I got to wait on my mama to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right.
But I'm the man of the house. All right.
And
okay.
some of these kids think that, bro.
Okay.
With fringes in the border of blue, they think that.
Thank you, mama, for that peanut butter and jelly sandwich you have given thee. Go ahead, read on.
Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the side.
Woo, right there. That's it. Do that. What did it say?
And beat him on the side.
Got to tear them sides up. Read on.
While he is a child.
When he what?
While he is a child.
Because when he started to get older and he become a young man, now you a small woman. You ain't gonna be beating on this grown man on the side. You know what I'm saying? He gonna snatch the belt from you.
Right.
And you're gonna be, officer, this boy too big. But sis, we told you that you should have been beating him when he was young. Beating him on the sides, as the Bible say. On the sides when he was young, coming up, right? Read.
Lest he wax stubborn.
He gonna do what?
Wax stubborn.
Now he's stubborn. He don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say. Now he feel like nobody can tell him nothing. Read.
And be disobedient unto thee. And so bring sorrow to thine heart.
And now you a parent because you don't know what to do with this child because he's so disobedient now. I don't know. You is in a state of stress. You got headaches. Your blood pressure going up because you don't know what to do. You don't know. You don't have no idea what to do. Go ahead, Austin.
And it made a comparison to a horse because, a lot of us in here now, we still fear our mothers. And it's not because we're afraid of her, it's because that discipline that she's instilling us early, we respect her highly. It's the same thing with a horse. A horse gets big and you can't really control it if you didn't put in that time and effort to bring it up the right way when it was young. Like you train a horse the right way when it's young. When that horse get big, you know what I'm saying, you still can do this and that horse gonna follow you, But if you don't do that to your kids, you can't expect them to be obedient and respectful to you, you know what I mean? Because they have to be disciplined and trained to do so.
Right. And you ever seen like a horse getting broke? They break them in water. They'll usually put them in the water because you got to think about a young horse is going to be bucking. Somebody trying to put a saddle on them. They got to sit on them. A horse is bucking. Sometimes people that ride a horse, they get killed for trying to break a horse. When they too old, right? Trying to break an old horse is very, very dangerous. So that's why they try to do it when they're young, when they're young horses and they won't get hurt. But when they old, it's life or death when somebody try to break a horse.
That's it. Good points, officers. Good points. All right, real quick, go to Ephesians 6, 1-3. Because going back to that discipline, this is something that all the kids should know right now. Read that.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. Children, Obey your parents in the Lord,
Read.
for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise,
Read.
that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
You see that? If you follow the directions of godly parents, it's promised that you're going to live long on the earth. That also goes into authority. If you listen to authority, and I'm talking about rightful authority, the right way, you would live long. You will avoid certain hardships. But some of us children, we think we know it all. So what is the best way to fix that rebellion? It's through correction, disciplinary actions, or judgment. Think about what we read earlier with Adam and Eve, right? What was the discipline that was placed on them, or the judgment that they had to face for rebellion? You say death? What else? They got put out the garden. They got put out of the garden. All the benefits that they once had, it was gone. They have to work now. As a kid, you don't have to work. So God kicked them out of his house. Like, nah, y'all gotta go. Y'all can't follow my rules. Y'all gotta hit the street. Now they gotta work themselves. Now they gotta do everything themselves. And your parents are there to instill discipline and structure in your life. You know the reason why you have chores? It's to create systems like the Lord created in the garden. Because without systems, everything is chaos. When you look at the beginning of the earth, what was there? Void, chaos, nothing. But it took systems and discipline to create life that we see it today. So in like manner, y'all learn how to clean, to be cleanliness, or to have that spirit of cleanliness. Then you know how to be neat and tidy with your environment. Then that's going to also spill over into work ethic. They're building y'all to be better versions of themselves. But if you want to rebel, you have to get this. Proverbs 22:15. Going back to what Officer said. And get that video ready. It's I want the first one with the Ammonite kid. I want that one first. Proverbs 22:15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
We understand that foolishness, sin, and evil is in the heart of all children, all the youthful. All y'all think about is evil. Yeah, go ahead.
How many of y'all parents have rebellious or foolish children?
My son, he baby Jesus incarnate. Nah. Read that again.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
It is bound in the heart of the child. Meaning in the youthful, sin is in their mind at all times. And then it's amplified when they're by themselves on their devices. That evil is amplified. Read.
But the rod of correction.
The what?
The rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
So the rod of correction shall drive that foolishness far from his mind. You know why? He's thinking, if I do this, there's pain coming behind it. Something bad gonna happen. And I say this all the time. And people online, don't take this crazy. Pain is the best teacher. If you get hit one good time, you know, I shouldn't do that again. I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. Give me Proverbs 23:13-15 now.
Proverbs.
So what does that scripture say, parents? Whoop your kids. Stop playing. They got foolishness in them. They need a mind. You got to mess with the psyche of the child, meaning you got to get into their head. Buffer them, yes. You need to buffer your children. You know how they act. Yeah. See, mama got the rod of correction right now. I see you, mama. I see you. Read that scripture.
Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 13. Withhold not correction from the child.
Look at what God's words say. You don't hold back correction because correction is meant to make that child better. Read.
For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
He ain't gonna die. He gonna be oh. All the acting and the what is it? The theatrics. Yeah, the tears that they can just form like that. You ain't gonna kill him. You ain't gonna kill him. Read.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
You see that? You with that fear of their parents, with that rod of correction, you are delivering their soul from hell. So that means if you don't whoop your children or discipline them, what you doing? You're offering them to Satan. You just a devil worshiper. This is why Esau's a big component on capital punishment. Do not discipline your children. Don't talk to them any weird type of way. This is why, because they are children of Satan themselves.
And you see what happened to their children.
When they get mad,
schools up,
bro, when they get
people.
mad, everybody dying. They not to excuse the violence, but when Jake get mad, Jake has a target. When Edom get mad, the world is his target. It's almost like a kamikaze mission for some of them. So this is why it's very important. We are different people. They are not like us. God tells us to whoop our kids, to discipline our kids, to buffer our kids. This is why, because you're offering their soul unto hell. All right? Y'all got those videos ready?
I got one thing you said about pain. Give me that in Genesis 3:16. Because you said, what do you say about pain? Say that again.
Pain is the best teacher.
Right. Go to Genesis 3:16. I'm going to prove what he just said. So we ain't talking about we ain't talking about beating nobody in here, but read that right quick. The Lord used pain on sisters. Watch this.
The book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. And to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
You gonna do what?
Greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Hey, that's it right there. That's pain. Every time you have a baby, y'all screaming and hollering. Lord, use pain.
Hey, also, they're reminded once a month.
Hey, that's exactly.
They reminded, not even the baby. They reminded.
Exactly. Don't let me get on second Israel, but I ain't even gonna go there. All right. Y'all know I love that. But go ahead.
Hey, all praise. So, hey, from the disobedience and rebellion of Eve, y'all sisters still feel the pain. Y'all still feel it. So, pain is the best teacher. And that is from God. That is. All right, let's get them videos, because this is what I mean by pain is the best teacher.
This kid is about to get instant karma because every time he gets angry, he hits his dad. So his father decides to teach him why hurting others isn't a good idea. At first, he lets the kid keep hitting him, but then he gives him one final challenge. This time, he has to hit with all his strength. But when the kid tried, something unexpected happened.
All right. You see that? Because when you hit somebody, that pain that you're inflicting is transferred to them. But when you hit something that's stronger than you, that pain goes into that object and it comes back on you double. That's what you call recoil. So what he felt was the force of his hit against his father, but it hit him twice. And what did he learn? I ain't hit my daddy no more. That hurt. He started crying. Let's see some more examples. Because y'all mamas and y'all daddies, we got to get back to the old school. We got to get back. We got to get back to these kids, they got to be in the place of kids. They got to enjoy their youth. Have them enjoy their youth. In their youth, they should be learning. They should be testing certain things. But once they cross that line should be the rod of correction right there. Ready. You get in the head of these kids. They think they know more than you. They don't. They haven't experienced the levels of pain that we've went through in our lifetime. And you're trying to protect them from certain things. But if they want to be headstrong, the discipline has to come out. I ain't just talking about, I'm going to take your video game and you sit in the corner and think about what you did. For real? Even the Lord beat our behind as a nation and sent us to the four corners of the earth to think about what we did, but at least we got a beating first. To this day, we feeling it. His whoopings last lifetimes. it hurt. So, go back to Titus 3. So that's the rebellion. That's how you fix it. You must have discipline for your children, and you must set up structure and systems that they are not conducive to fail. All right? Read that, Titus 3:3 again.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived.
Right there. We're going to stop right there. We was once deceived. So we mentioned about disobedient. We was rebellious. Now deceived. Now, when you go into that deception, I'm going to just get the definition right now. To be deceived is deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. So a lot of us was lied to, and once we was lied to or tricked, some of us took those same skills and used it on our own people. It was an evil lesson that we learned. We learned how to be that scam artist, that liar, that cheater, that stealer. We learned these things. Proverbs 14:12. And this is one lie that all youth tell themselves. This is a big lie we all tell ourselves.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Most of us think we got the answers. And you ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You're young. You're in your youth. You're inexperienced. You haven't experienced life outside of the confines of your parents' household. So you don't even know what life is yet. Heck, you at the if. You ain't even at the full sense of the life. So with that, you think what you know is good. Oh, it's just this simple because the internet told me to. Nah. But read the last part of that.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
That deceptive mindset is going to get you killed. That think you know it all attitude, young men and young women, is going to get you killed in more ways than one. It may not be physical death, but spiritual suicide is the worst one because it's a slow death. And it's a lot of YDOSs, young prophets that have committed spiritual suicide. They was like, you know what? I don't like the structure that my dad and my mom follows being in the scriptures. I want to do my own thing. I want to experience life to the fullest degree.
And then when they leave, they always come crawling back. But you leave, you got so many spirits on you that it becomes harder. You know, like I said, it's almost impossible for you to come back because you was here and you left because you want to do A, B, and C. Now you got these demons on you. But the spiritual part and you still fighting, but you got 7 other demons on you where it's almost impossible for you to come back. So everybody that leave here want to do their own thing. They eventually come crawling back.
So in our youth, we learn much evil, such as different holidays, different religions, different philosophies that went against God's commandments. And you know one major thing we learned, officer? Evil communication. You know that people used to say, this is my best friend, but they used to talk down on them. I'm like, this your friend? Like, this how y'all talk to each other? Like, dang, this is crazy. Give me 1 Corinthians 15:33. Because a lot of us have evil communication based off of what evil we're getting in the midst of. Especially y'all video game players that's in here. I'm talking to the young prophets. Y'all sisters that y'all always on social media. You know what you're learning? Vanity. You comparing yourself to people that ain't you, and you're comparing your real self to filters. That ain't how they really look. If you saw them in real life, they look like the Crypt Keeper. They look bad. No makeup, no AI filters. They look terrible. And then they do all this for clout, just to be talked about online. If y'all did not know, I come from the generation where I actually saw online come online. It was America Online back in the day. Who were AOL? See, I got some brothers. I got some sisters back there that know what I'm talking about. So we saw the internet when it was born. And AOL was crazy. You had all the chat rooms. You had Ask Jeeves. It wasn't Google back then. It was Ask Jeeves and another one. Ask.com. But I would say 05, 06, that's when the internet started to change into the social media revolution now that we see today. I'm older than YouTube. I was in high school when YouTube came out. It was free back then. There was no paid subscriptions. You could put anything on there. You can watch videos with no interruptions. It was just videos, content that people was putting up there. But now they monetizing it. And you know why? They want your attention. They want you to be away from your family. They want you to be away from your God. What's more precious? What's the most precious thing on the earth? Y'all tell me. Anybody. What's the most precious thing on the earth? You said wisdom? I like that. It's precious. Time. Time is the most precious commodity on the planet Earth, because time you can never get back, children. You can't get your youth back. Because if it was so, mostly everybody would go back. They wouldn't be here. But time you cannot get back. Money you can always get. But once that time is gone, that's it. It ain't no rewind. None. So it's best that y'all brothers and sisters, while y'all have the strong body that the Lord gave you, the sharp mind that you have right now, why don't you use it for righteousness' sake? I mean, you're going to get old and you're going to eventually die. Why not make the best of it in God's law? I'm just saying. Why not? Why not? What I had, read that again, soldier?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
So the evil communication is going to corrupt your good manners. So that means the more that you're around people that talk evil, the more that you're around people that have bad behaviors, you're going to start to follow those things. Even though you may be a good, upstanding kid. Mind you, we all were good, upstanding kids to somebody. Somebody was like, oh, nah, he never do nothing. You know what? I was that kid. I was good now. I was good. But if I had to get some get back, oh, yeah. I got it good where the teacher didn't even know it was me because the way I acted. I was a good, standing kid. But then once somebody say something wrong, bully me, oh, meet me in the locker room. We'll handle it. Do our thing, come out. Hey, I'm still that. I still got the face of a good standing kid. Oh, he's nice. He's this. I was. But I had that dark side too. Yes. Dark side. I had that dark side too. But this is the reason why we're trying not to have y'all in the midst of that, because we don't want nothing evil happening to you, because the world is totally different now. Give me Leviticus 19:11 now. And through these evil communications such as Facebook, YouTube, in the internet now, you learn all these evil philosophies and things, and now you want to go against your parents because you're learning this deception. It's meant to deceive you. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
So the commandments tell us not to do this. Why? Because this goes into laws of civility, how we deal with one another. Jump down to 13 now.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
You're not supposed to be scamming or stealing from your brother. But what happens online all the time? Y'all can tell me. Scamming. Y'all brothers know, y'all young brothers know, you'll be playing against it. Y'all be calling them cheaters or hackers. And they spam it and they steal all your stuff. And now y'all crying. It's the same thing. The Lord commanded us not to learn these ways, but we learn it being out in the world. That's why y'all have to build yourselves up here to defend against that thing. If you're going to rebel against evil. Don't rebel against good. Give me that next video. It's a video with it's a brother. Because this was some of us. Yes, this was some of us.
Remember as a kid, we used to go in the store with $1 and come out with 2 bags of chips, 8 candy bars, and a soda? Nowadays, they got cameras, and that really pisses me off.
What that mean he did? He stole. So in your youth, you do some stupid stuff. You do dumb things. You always, you either trying to be in the in crowd, you stealing, you lying, you cheating on something. You trying to be, I guess, the biggest man, and you do evil to do that thing. But you don't have to. To be a man is to keep God's commandments. That's how you be a man. Give me that real quick, 2 Kings. Real quick, then we're going to move on.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
So to keep God's commandments, to keep his charge, that's how you be a man. Because God's commandments is going to force you to be, to defend defenseless people. Like, for instance, as a kid, who had bullies as a kid? I had a bully, semi-bully. His name was, it was like Bruce. It was like a typical bully name. And he was a big white kid. Big. I mean, huge. Bruh. He used to try to bully people. And what do bullies hate?
So for the brothers who didn't raise their hand, y'all used to be bullies.
Yeah, y'all was.
I'm pretty sure y'all can answer this question.
Y'all was beat sticks throughout all middle school. Y'all didn't have no issues. So what do bullies hate? They was probably the bully. Resistance. They hate it. They hate it. So I was rebellious. And I resisted him. And then I found out he was big and soft. He was a marshmallow. I was like, oh, wow. Who knew I was this strong? But they hate resistance. They hate it because they try to prey on a deception of that they're stronger than you, but they're actually weaker than you. That's just a fear tactic that they use. So, hey, y'all brothers, y'all need to get in the right mind. Y'all sisters, stop being deceived with social media. Let's move over to the next point. Titus 3:3 again.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometime foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures.
Right there. Serving diverse lusts and pleasures. Some of us used to smoke, drink to drunkenness, commit fornication, whoremonger, pornography. What else? Steal. Some killed, lied. We did all these things. But my point is the fornication piece of it. So fornication, I have to get the definition because that spiritual word is too high for some Negroes. They don't understand what fornication is. So I got to get the secular definition. Sexual intercourse between people not married to each other. It's just that simple. This person is not your husband. You're not his wife. Y'all have sexual intercourse. You're in the midst of fornication. It's that simple, right? But as a youth in your inexperience, you just a hornball. Everything is horny to you. Everything gets you randy. Everything. You all you can think about is sex. That's it. And some of y'all, still watching porn. Yeah, I said it. Because it's true. That's why y'all can't stop thinking. Y'all are damaging your mind with all that overstimuli that you ain't ready for. You're damaging. And then you ain't going to be able to perform. I'm just saying. It's going to mess you up in the long term. Hebrews 13:4. So fornication is sexual intercourse between people not married to each other. Let's get a little deeper in that.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
So the bed is undefiled between married individuals. Read.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So the man is the whoremonger, and the adulterer or adulteress is the woman. God is going to judge you. How? How is God going to judge that type of person? Anybody. You say STDs, herpes, what else? Single parent household. Get some security for Thesz, man. Get some security for him, bro. Single parent household is a very big judgment. That's not natural. That's a disease. That's a sickness. It's not supposed to go. But in our youth, some of us being dumb, young and dumb, we made single parent households. And some of those brothers still paying for it to this day. You on an 18-year time frame, my boy. Oh, don't let them go to college. Now you got to wait some more years. And that's like all that money you was making. You got to give it over. But only have $100 to my name. We don't care. You created this problem. And this is how you're going to solve it. Payments, wages. Do y'all young brothers want that? Do y'all want to work very hard and give 80 to 90% of your check to a bitter baby mama? Y'all sisters, do y'all want that? You see that none of them said anything? They want it. They want the money on. They want it. But that's a problem too. Because it shows how the sisters are more susceptible in entrapping you. I lock you down with a baby, now I can get some money out of you. Bruh, that's the oldest game, like oldest play in the book. And it still worked because you got simps out here. Men that cannot control their sexual desires. Because you're always on the internet looking at what's the fastest new thing out. And then I got to say this, since we on fornication, pornography, things of that nature. For y'all brothers that are still finding ways to watch porn in the state of Alabama, you are diabolical. Because they have a law where they lock down the porn sites in all Alabama. It's a law. And you're telling me that you're able to get past this, that is a state law, officer? It's a state law. I just found this out.
So so you saying they criminals?
Bruh.
They fugitives.
They are in the midst of a misdemeanor. And I'm not joking. It is a state law that you have to be like a certain age, and they They lock it all down. So for you to even find a way to get to it now in Alabama, you diabolical, bro. And sisters, I know y'all watch it too. Y'all diabolical too. Diabolical. Because it ain't just brothers, it's sisters too. Y'all in the pot as well. I know we get on the brothers, but y'all got them roses too. So y'all brothers, y'all better stop because they are keeping tabs on y'all. Yeah, they F the police, I need it. That means it's a problem. That means that some of y'all have some very serious issues that you got to talk about. Because it ain't just the porn. There's some other stuff going on. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 6.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6. Now these things were our examples to the intent we should not lust after evil things.
You see that? We're supposed to go to the past to look at examples of what our forefathers did to learn from it. Just like y'all children now, y'all supposed to look at the examples that we set as older men and women to know what to do and what not to do. Read.
As they also lusted, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
That rose up to play just goes into the different sexual acts and orgies that they had at that time. A lot of us in today, who has seen American Gods? You got your little pew hand up? All right, you remember the God of the internet? Ah, okay. So there's a God that is representing technology. Y'all know some of y'all in here serve technology and the internet more than you do God. And in American Gods, they were showing that that is a God. You're worshiping it by doing what? Giving it what? Time. I said, what's the most precious thing on the planet Earth? It's your time, right? So you keep giving this thing your time and not being productive. What are you doing? You're idolizing it. That is your idol. Some of this is your idol. Especially my sisters. This is an idol. But, oh no, I need it for work. Yeah, right. I'm a tech major. Most of y'all don't even know how to use these phones like you should. I'm just be real. That's why I'd be like iPhone, Android. Y'all don't know how to use the phone. It's a computer. So, y'all sisters, what most sisters be doing on their phone? Me. Y'all know I'm right. Y'all talk 1,000. Y'all talk at light speed sometimes. Y'all be going. And then I be like, I be wanting to ask my wife sometimes, I be like, do your mouth get tired sometimes? Like, do it get tired? Do y'all sisters' mouths get tired? It don't. At least you honest, sis. At least you honest. Because I see a lot of sisters like, and they know what I'm saying is right. So, when you're talking on this device, what do y'all be talking about? Is it godly things? Nope. It ain't godly. It be gossip. Y'all know gossip is a sin, right? Let's keep reading. Let's see what our forefathers did in the wilderness.
Verse 8. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 320,000.
So behind that fornication, it came death. And why is it that Israel always find it time to jump off the dresser, like my brother say? Why they always find time for that? The world would be ending. You know what? That sister was eyeing me. But the world ended, bro. But I love her, though, man. I love her, man. Why is it that y'all always find time for sex when the world is crumbling around you? That's a problem. Keep reading.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted. As some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents.
Read on.
Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
So you see that murmuring? That murmuring goes to the mouth. Using your mouthpiece for evil, speaking ill of leaders, having your own opinion. Give me that real quick. Psalms 119, verse 113.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 13.
113.
Oh, 113.
Yes, sir.
Verse 113. I hate vain thoughts.
What God say?
I hate vain thoughts.
Read.
But thy law do I love.
God don't care about your opinion. Just like your parents, children, don't care about your opinion. God has the same mindset. Well, Mom, I think we need to. Oh, whoa. First off, who asked you anything? So let's stop at the mom. Let's stop at the dad. No, you don't have an opinion. And that's what gets us messed up. When we using these devices, be real. What you talking about? You'll be talking to a family member that's not in the truth. She talking about Glow Jean and Bessie doing XYZ at church and bringing it to your ears. That's not vexing to y'all? That's not vexing? Nah, to some people it ain't. You probably the only one. I have to take breaks. I'm talking about month-long breaks. Like, I can't. I love your mama, I love your dad, but I'm gonna love you from a distance. Because it's so much information I can take. Too much information is detrimental to y'all. Y'all be holding all these secrets, and then y'all turn into the crypt keeper. Because holding all those secrets is stressful. Why do you think that people in the FBI and CIA and even the president's seat, they look older in a second year in than they did in their first year? Why do you think that is? Stress. All that information, secrets. And you telling me y'all sisters ain't gonna embody that in certain sicknesses and diseases and things like that? Y'all better get out of here. There is a God. Read that again, that last part.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 113.
Uh-huh.
I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love.
So God's law is what we're supposed to love. If you are keeping God's law, you're not going to be in the midst of gossip. You're not going to be in the midst of murmuring. Because that's a big thing in our nation. It happened to us in the wilderness. We're reading about it right now. Jump back to 1 Corinthians 10. Verse 11 now.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 11. Now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition.
They're written for our correction. So we don't follow the same thing. Read.
Upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
So if you don't take heed to what you're hearing, you're going to fall. You're going to fall in these same sins and fall to the same punishments. And they'll be like, why God? Why me? Why not you? You committed the evil. Why not get the punishment? Jump down to, give me Numbers 25, 1 through 9 now. We're going to get some history. Let's try to speed it up, soldier.
Yes, sir. Numbers chapter 25 and verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
Uh-oh.
And they called the people into the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel.
Read.
And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye everyone his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
So you see how punishment or judgment has to happen to correct or put the fear of God in certain individuals? That's why I was mentioning about the lashings earlier for the young brothers and sisters. Sometimes you just need some fear. That's it. You need a little dose of fear. It's healthy for a little dose of fear. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman.
So wait a minute. This man just brought a Midianitish woman after there was brothers that died having sexual relations and whoredom with Ming Ling and Ching Ching. He's like, I got to have me the exotic. I need me an exotic. Keep reading.
In the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So we still in the midst of repentance. That's what some people do. In the midst of repentance, in the midst of getting ourselves together as a congregation, we would have people commit fornication. We would have people break the laws of marriage. And then they would try to keep it to themselves. Or they would have ulterior motives. The brother going to, he's signing up for the 300-man program. He want to marry a woman in the world. Or a sister signing up for Daughters of Sarah and want to marry a Negro in the world. Makes no sense at all. But we have people among us like that. Keep reading. And because we reading about it right here. Read.
And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
You see that? Because this person was selfish and only thought about themselves and not the betterment of the congregation, the plague was still going until they died or until they was removed from the congregation. You see how things repeat themselves? We are the children of Israel. Even though y'all are children, we all are children of Israel. We all have different levels of experience. Some of us are still in our youth in the spirit. And we're reading about why is it that Jake always got to have the buns for when it's a dire situation. It's like everybody trying to get themselves right. Then the brother come in, oh yeah, I committed fornication. What? Where were you? You should have been here. You should have been doing this, that, and the third. Why were you by yourself alone? And a lot of y'all, I'm going to just be real with y'all. A lot of y'all don't believe in God. Y'all love the movement. Y'all love the camaraderie of brothers and sisters getting together, but you don't believe in God. Because if you did, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 20. If you did, this will be in the back of your mind. Let me see. Ecclesiastes 10, verse 20.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 20. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which have wings shall tell the matter.
You see that? That means whatever you do in secret is going to get out. And God is going to tell godly men about what you said or what you did. And it's going to come to us in the most inconvenient spaces. We don't look for it. I remember, I think Officer Soraya called me about a situation. You know what I was doing? I was under my hood working on my car. I'm minding my own business. Something came on his doorstep. He sent it up the chain. I'm like, bruh, why is it that the brothers can't keep their hands to themselves? We don't even want y'all to do that no more. Because some of y'all keeping your hands to yourself too much. Too much. Married to yourself. Wife named Angela Palmella. Yeah, I'm telling on y'all. I'm telling. Because it's got to stop. It's a continuous cycle. It keeps going. It has to stop. It has to. All right. Is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Read that last part again. I'm sorry.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which have wings shall tell the matter.
So a lot of y'all don't believe in God because y'all don't believe that your evil is going to come out. A lot of y'all are, and then a lot of y'all keep it to yourself thinking that it's not going to come out because I ain't saying nothing to this sister. I ain't saying nothing with this sister or that brother and this brother. I'm going to stay on this fine line, just keep it to myself. Or wait until the Day of Atonement to tell evil. It don't work that way. Judgment still got to go out. It's like, I forgive you, but you got to get out my house. It don't work that way. What fantasy land do you live in? Like, for real. Some of the sins that we commit today, we do it so arrogantly, so boldly. And you was put to death in the Old Testament. We would just randomly sleep with a random sister or a random brother that we met at work. And then we can just casually do it and not feel nothing behind it. But then it's the tears of sorrow when you get called out on it. So it's like, are you sad that you did the act, or are you sad that you got caught? They sad because they got caught, officer. That's it. Because if they wasn't caught, they wouldn't be saying nothing. And singing like a mockingbird too. Give me Jude chapter 1. So I want y'all to be mindful. Y'all children, y'all need to look at the past. We are your past. We are your past. We're trying to give you lessons of wisdom to not repeat the same actions that we did, so y'all can be better than us. But some of y'all do this. Give me Jude 1:16. Then we're going to jump to 19.
The book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse 16. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts.
You see that? All those spirits fall into one. Murmurers, complainers fall into their own lust. Read.
And their mouths speaking great swelling words, having men's person in admiration because of advantage.
Meaning you only care about what men do to you. You don't care about what God does. Read.
You want to jump to verse 19?
19, yes, sir.
Verse 19. These be they who separate themselves.
So these are those murmurers, those complainers, those walkers after their own lusts, those that speak great swelling words. Those are the people that separate themselves. So that means if you start separating yourself, you're not talking to your POC, you're not talking to nobody, we know you're in the midst of sin. This is the scripture showing that you're in the midst of sin. You're separating yourself. Why? You don't want it to get better. You want it to get worse. That's how much you hate yourself. Read.
These be they who separate themselves.
Read on.
Sensual, having not the spirit. But ye, beloved, building up yourselves on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Ghost.
So we are supposed to build up our faith. That's the purpose of being together. That's the purpose why we are congregating on the Sabbath day, to better our own lives. But if y'all want to separate yourself, we know you're in the midst of sin. We do. And then it's going to be a span of time before you just fizzle out. And then it's like on to the next one. So y'all brothers and sisters, y'all need to be mindful. If you're not active in the groups, shame on you. You're an Israelite. You are one of the greatest people on the planet. You tell me you put more effort in Esau's job, his funky, dirty job, than your own people, and you probably have the skill set to create your own business in that field. But because you're lazy and because you don't want to work, you want to work for your slave master and you're proud about it. Now, oh yeah, I can't do it because of my job. But did you even talk to your boss first? Nah, you see X, Y, and Z came up and I ain't had this many days because I used it on a family trip that I had or a vacation. Some of us are full of crap. We really got to re-examine to see, are we really in this faith? And some of us act just like frightened children. Even though we grown up in the body, that head ain't quite ripe yet. We acting like children in here. And that's the purpose of this. You had something real quick, officer?
I was going to say, go to Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. Did you have that? All right, Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. A lot of y'all think that sometimes when y'all doing things, it's a new thing. Like, man, if I do this, I can put my phone right here. I can put so and so number under what's a Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying? Pizza Hut texting me. Bro, we know that's bro. We done been there. We done that. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
I don't think y'all believe that there's no new thing under the sun. There's nothing that y'all have been through, going through, or going to do that we don't know. We already know it, right? So what the young MOV brothers, y'all stand up. All the young MOV brothers, stand up for a second, right? On your shirt, it say young men of valor. Young men of valor. What valor mean to you? What does valor mean to you? Just go down the line. What it mean to you? I can't hear you. Stand up for give him a mic, because I can't hear, man. Get a brother a mic. So all y'all brothers, tell us what valor means to y'all.
It means to be an example.
It means to be an example, right? You got this shirt on. Make sure you be an example. Okay.
I would say a warrior for the Lord.
Warrior for the Lord.
I would say of honor.
Honor. Okay.
Courage.
Courage.
Royalty.
You said what?
Royalty.
Loyalty. Awesome. Let's pass it on. That's good. Valor. What does it mean to you? Pass it on if you don't know. You don't know? Pass it on.
Disciplines.
Discipline. Great. Pass it on.
He's the young brothers.
Warrior.
Warrior. Good. Very, very good. Very, very good. A brother that didn't know what valor means, just get a definition. Look it up. All right. Understand, this is not to embarrass y'all, but this is understand. But what y'all wearing on y'all shirt, get Jeremiah 1 verse 10 right quick. What y'all wearing on y'all shirts is represents something, right? Somebody's looking at y'all as examples. Examples. You can't be a disobedient child. Same thing with the sisters, the young daughters of Sarah. You can't be a disobedient child and wearing a young men of valor shirt. Same thing with us. We can't be out here acting like Negroes and we got Israel United Christ on our shirts. Same thing, right? Read that. This is y'all job.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down.
That's our job. We go out in the street, we have to root out this world. If the world was so great, if everything in the world before we came to was so great, we would still be in the world.
Yep.
We'll still be out there doing the same things we were doing if it was so good. So don't be wanting to rush back to the world. We telling y'all ain't nothing out there. But sometimes y'all have to go out there and see for yourselves. Ain't nothing out there. Then y'all want to run back here. Right? Ain't nothing out there. There's nothing out there. We will all still be there if it was great. Right? So our job is to pull down, read.
And to destroy.
And to destroy. We are trying to actively destroy the things of this world. That's what officer going over. This is what Bernie Mac said when he popped the belt. This is threat yellow.
Yeah.
This class is threat yellow. He popping the belt. Bam.
Just the sound of it.
Bam. Popping the belt. If we get to the last level, somebody got to get thrown out. Somebody got to go. Y'all don't understand with y'all actions and y'all sins, it affects everybody.
Yep.
Because you got to go, your mama got to go, your daddy got to go, the little babies got to go. All y'all got to go. It affects everybody, right? Read.
And to throw down.
To throw down. We got to go out there and throw down like prophets. Y'all say y'all young prophets. Y'all ready to throw down? But y'all ain't ready to throw down.
You're not ready yet.
Y'all ain't ready yet. Read.
To build.
And that's the other part. We got to be able to build. We got to be able to, when we throw it down, some got to replace that. We got to build it back, right? Read.
And to plant.
And to plant. Plant other young prophets. It's men coming up after y'all. It's other young men coming up after y'all. Y'all got to be the example, right? All right, go ahead, Austin.
All praises, officer. Hey, that good segue.
Oh, hey, one more thing. Put that article up, because this was what's waiting on y'all in the world. It was an article. It's a new law that's coming out. Yeah, play that. Put that up. Go to the top. Can you see that, Rita? What they say at the very, very top. This coming out October the 1st.
Governor,
This year?
Yeah, this year. Read that at the top.
Governor Ivey signs Senate Bill 119 to address inner city gun violence.
Who is in the inner city? Young men like yourselves is in the inner city. So this bill is targeting young men in the inner city. Gun violence. Go up. Stroll up. Let me see. Go to the second paragraph.
Under SB 119, it is now classified as a Class C felony for an individual to possess a firearm if they have been convicted of any felony offense within the past 5 years, or 3 felony offenses at any time.
Read that next one. Keep on. Keep going.
The bill also criminalizes firearm possession by individuals out on bail for specific offenses.
So now they making a bill these penalties for having firearms is gonna be worse. And then it goes on to say you can be in a car with somebody that has a firearm, all y'all gonna get charged, whether you knew it or not. Whether you knew about it or not, you getting the same charge as that individual that's in the car with you. Your so-called friend in the world. Your so-called friend is out here doing these crimes that you want to be idolizing to be around. You gonna go down with them just because of this bill right here that's coming out October 1st. Read about the bill. Go ahead, officer.
Hey, good point, officer. And most of us, we don't read nothing about law and legislation. The brothers are still harping on this is an open carry state, but that right there is showing you it ain't gonna be no open carry state no more. So, all right, let's start wrapping it up. Hebrews 11 verse 25, because we went on the young men and women, but we see that our brothers and sisters that are grown are still spiritually children. Y'all rebel against your authoritative figures, which is leadership. When we set certain things in place, y'all think y'all have y'all own mind because I'm grown. I do what I want. Yeah, y'all the Eric Cartmans of IUIC. Yeah, mama, he did say that too. I do what I want. That's how some of y'all are. Y'all think because you have age behind you, you think you can do what you want, but no, you still have to follow orders. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
You see that? Sin is very pleasurable, but it only lasts for a short time. A lot of us love the feeling of sin, but then when it's up and gone, you're trying to search that high again. You're trying to chase the dragon, as they say. Trying to get to that high again. We got to stop doing that. Sin, and this is for brothers and sisters in the truth, meaning you are in the midst of repenting, you still got hang-ups, but you're really not trying to fix yourself. You're just here because you see the camaraderie. You're here because you see the brotherhood. You see the unity. You understand you have to be here, but you're not making any moves to position yourself to be that charitable brother or sister, that righteous brother or sister. You're cosplaying as an Israelite. Right. Show up on the Sabbath like it's church. You playing church and cosplaying. And some of y'all do. Because in the world, you be dressed crazy. Sirach 2:1. So we know that sin is pleasurable. That means that this can also cause rebellion of people in the truth. Because you miss that feeling. You want to suffice that appetite. This will cause you to rebel as well. Read that.
Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So we must prepare ourselves for temptation. And that temptation is any manner of sin that goes against us. Any manner of sin. So, and I'm talking to the adults now. Especially y'all, you know what you went through in this life. You know what your hangups are. My question to you is, what systems are you applying in your life to evade the evil that you once was doing? Just like you lay systems for the children, God has laid systems for you to follow because you're a child of God too. So it's a hierarchy. Read on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
You see that? It's not going to be easy, parents. We all have to constantly endure because we're children of Israel. So that means, yeah, you have to listen to leadership. You have to listen to what your POC tells you. They're not, I'm going to just give y'all a secret. Y'all really think that when we give advice, we don't want you to listen to it? And most of the time, we're giving you advice through the scriptures. We really want you to flourish and prosper. We don't want y'all to fail. But some of y'all are so hell-bent, so rebellious in your own life that you don't open up to nobody. And then when all hell breaks loose, now you come when everything is too far gone. No, you don't need to do that no more. You need to be upright at the get-go. Is that it on that, soldier?
No, sir. And make not haste in the time of trouble.
Right there. Not making haste in time of trouble. When you get tried, don't run. Apply God's law in that situation because that's the issue. All right. Jump over to 2 Ezra 4:2 now.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 2.
Read.
And said, thy heart have gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High?
So a lot of us, our mind is too gummed up. We are far gone in pollution of this world, philosophies, different opinions, mindsets. And you really think God wants to hear that? You really think God wants to hear, oh, because I couldn't make it to the Sabbath because I was tired? It's meant for you to rest. What do you mean you was tired? Why don't you just get some sleep and then come later on? You still keep the days holy. Stop making excuses like children do. Clean up your room. Well, Mom, I can't clean up my room because my elbow hurt. That's what y'all sound like. Y'all sound like kids. Even though y'all adults, y'all sound like kids with these weird excuses. Is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, jump down to 1 Peter 2:6-8. And then we're going to end it with Deuteronomy 4.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
Read on.
And a stone of stumbling.
So Christ is going to be a stone of stumbling to some. Read.
And a rock of offense.
Christ actually magnified the law for us adults to follow. So now, you remember, he said that he gave us different ways of adultery. Now we understand, if you, like when I mentioned earlier, pornography, that's a form of adultery because you're encouraging that behavior. Read on.
Even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
So that's scary because it says that some were appointed to be disobedient. And this is going for us parents. We got to have a heart to heart. Some of us ain't right. Getting thrown out of school is one thing, officer. But what if the Lord had to remove you from life? How can you repent then? Oh, yeah, you can't. You can't. That's where y'all don't think. Y'all don't think past your life. What if I do this evil and I die tonight? Y'all don't think that far ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation,
read,
a royal priesthood,
read on,
and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
So that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be those righteous examples of following God's law and being an example for our children, for them to obey the evil. Last scripture, Deuteronomy 4:6. This is where we should get to, family. We should get to this point here, where when you walk in the store, people know you different. When you are dealing with issues, you're abiding by the laws of God to effectively deal with that issue and stop being that scared little child that you once was years ago. You are an adult. You're not a boy. You're not a girl no more. You have to take responsibility. There's a wise man that told me the best ability is availability. That's the best ability to ever have, because if you're available for things, you can then hone and craft on your spiritual gifts. That's what y'all don't understand. When y'all are missing in action, you're in the midst of sin. That's why. And you're diminishing yourself. You're getting weaker. You're not worth nothing now. But this is where we should be. Deuteronomy 4:6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Read.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So keeping the laws of God is what we need to show in the sight of the nations. Read.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So wherever we go, we're keeping the laws of God. They know that we are different and godly people. This is where we should return back to. So again, young brothers and sisters, we've been there. We done that. My young brothers and sisters in the truth, we've been there and we done that already. All right. We all need to mature as a people. All right. That'll be my time. Shalom, Most High, Christ bless.